Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. My name is William Michael Forbes. I'm a spiritual medium, an intuitive life coach, and a channel. And I want to welcome you to this Shortcuts for Your Soul, which is a 3-week series that I've been guided to do. And today we're going to be bringing forth Archangel Raphael, and he's going to be discussing how to restore yourself. And it's a very interesting subject that he wanted to talk about, restoring yourself. We're going to wait a few minutes for people to come on. Again, he's very strong with me right now. The energy of these beings, when you learn to realize you are never, ever, ever alone, it's going to make your life so much easier to be able to close your eyes and open your mind and ask for guidance and assistance, and to learn to really listen. I cannot tell you how many times they offered guidance to me when I was younger, and I was so caught up in my own mind and caught up in this world that I was unable to listen. But hopefully today, we will get some things going on about how you can restore yourself from the perspective of Archangel Raphael, what that really means to restore yourself. Hi, Carrie. Wonderful. Glad you got a chance to make it here. We're just going to wait a few minutes for others to come on. This is really exciting for me. I've got Archangel Raphael with me today. It's about restore yourself. He says this is the time for humanity. It's really about restoring ourselves. Hi, Betsy. Wonderful to have you here today. I'm just going to make some adjustments to lighting here. Yeah, so this has been very, very fun times. Watching this time right now, we're like every single human being on this planet now has angels and archangels and divine beings and ascended masters and beings from other dimensions and planets here with them all the time. We just have to learn to adjust our perceptual mechanisms so that we can actually begin to hear and feel and know what it is that's being communicated to us. And that just requires a little adjustment in terms of training your sensitivity to things that are outside your normal range of perception. By normal range of perception, we mean the perception of your physical senses, which gives you a limited awareness of what you can see, smell, touch, taste, and hear. It's restricted to the physical dimension. But as you get more into understanding the non-physical senses that we all have, everybody has these non-physical senses: clairvoyance, clairaudience, clairsentience, claircognizance. There are others too, but we predominantly work with those the four: clairvoyance, clairaudience, clairsentience, and claircognizance. And when you understand these other senses you have that have very little to do with your body, but can be integrated with them, you begin to understand what the importance is of learning to close your eyes and close your ears and go inside, go within, and learn to hear within and see within. There's a realm of consciousness that's beyond your 5 physical senses. And the goal of everything that we do is to bring people to that awareness that you are not who you think you are what you think. And it's important to learn to change what you think, because most of what you think was given to you by the world. It's not even yours. Most of the ideas and information you have in your mind right now is not even really yours. It's what you've acquired from this world. And there's literally a wealth of information available to you from within when you learn to go into that place where you are connected to Master Jesus or Buddha or Raphael or any of these beings. And it's pretty remarkable. Also, I want to say that the new dates for later this year's courses are up on my website, williammichaelforbes.com. So you can go there if you want to register way in advance. The course doesn't start until September. It's a 3-week course called Mediumship 101 Beginner's Level course. And that's followed by 2 other courses as well, which is the intermediate and advanced courses. And again, they start September 5th, and you can go to the website and get all the information about those and register if you choose to. Also, if you're inspired by this work we're doing, please feel free to offer your support in the super chats. If you have a question that you want to be prioritized, make certain your question gets asked. There's a little symbol to the left of the chat box that you can click on and make a small donation, and your question will go up to the top as a priority for me to capture and respond to. But the energy is really, really intense, because Raphael, he usually doesn't come to me with heat, but he's come to me with heat today, like heat coming down. It's a little different than the heat I get from Master Jesus, which is like an intense, like literally I'm in a pillar of fire. But Raphael came today and says he wants to discuss the concept of restoring yourself. He says, as you know, I'm often associated with that process you call physical healing. But there are other things that must be considered when it comes to the process of physically healing your body. You must also learn to make changes and alterations in the quality of the thoughts and ideas and feelings in your mind that are also stored in your body. Your ability to work on all three of these levels, or you might call them dimensions, the dimension of your body, the dimensions of your emotions, and the dimensions of your awareness, your mind, and your thoughts, are four different dimensions that you actually exist on right now. When we speak of the fourth dimension coming through, we speak of the divine soul manifesting itself without the obstructions of the past being presented into the present, where you are free of obstructions from your past to be that which you are here and now. To be fully restored is to be in your essential soul nature, the expression of yourself as that fourth dimensional soul, the awareness that watches thoughts, that can be aware of emotions, that can be aware of the physical realms. This soul aspect of you, when you bring it through, and it is brought through without resistance, you will be fully whole. And as you've heard the statement, your body will be filled with light when you are whole and complete. There are simple methods for learning to restore your soul. The first thing is to become aware of your awareness, to be aware that you are aware. This is the first step, that you are aware independent of your thoughts, that you are aware independent of your emotions, that you are aware independent of your body. That awareness, that level of independent awareness, places your consciousness into the position where you can then begin to assert proper authority over your physical body. Your ability to assert proper authority over your mind, emotions, and physical body is fundamental for being able to effect the kind of healing and transformation that you know in your heart is possible for you and many others in this world. But learning the steps and understanding the process, that you are not this body, that you are not the thoughts and emotions in this mechanism, that you are the divine sentient being that is aware of all these, the architect that can shape and form this matter in which you find yourself. Thank you. I got stuff coming through here. He's asking me to slow down. So it's really important you understand what we're saying here, that your body is not who you are. It's simply a mechanism that you inhabit, and that it's not meant to define you. You're meant to define it. Historically, as matter evolved, as the physical matter, he's saying as physical matter evolved through time and space to the point where it was ready to be able to allow your consciousness to interact with it directly. There are lesser forms on your planet, and by lesser, I do not mean that they are lesser, but there are creatures that you call chimpanzees and gorillas and other creatures that have a physical form that does not allow the effect of a soul consciousness to manifest through them. They do have an awareness, but that awareness is limited exclusively to the body, as the body is not developed sufficiently enough to allow reason to flow through it as it does with you. The awareness that is you is capable of reason, capable of altering and changing matter, time, and energy with thought, image, and idea. If you understand this, you'll understand why the human body is the only form on this physical planet capable of the functions that humans are, which no other animals or forms on this planet are. So healing, understanding, restoring yourself. So I'm going to paraphrase a little bit what he's saying. So to restore ourselves is to move our awareness into a position where we are aware that we have a physical body that is subjective to our attention, our awareness, that we have emotions, feelings that are energies that we can utilize and create, that we can alter and direct with our focus, that we have thoughts in our mind that are stored there from our past. In fact, we've got thoughts stored in our bodies genetically for as many as 12 generations back or more. I personally believe that we have the entire genome of consciousness as it's evolved from the single cell to the present moment. I think we have all knowledge stored within the DNA of our body. But our awareness has the ability to direct and affect changes in the activity of the genes, the emotions, and the thoughts. And the most challenging part, he says the most challenging part that people have to deal with is thought. That is the place in your consciousness where you have the greatest difficulty in affecting lasting change, because you believe, many of you, that your thoughts are more real than you are. Many of you believe that your body is more real than you are. Many of you believe that your emotions are beyond your control. And I would say to you that your emotions are simply the energy provided from the creator of your life that gives you the power to create and affect change in matter, time, and space. If you understand this simple ideas we're presenting, you'll begin to move your awareness into the position that it rightfully belongs in, what we have been commonly calling the throne of God, which is the seat of awareness, of beingness. That is the place of the throne of the living God. And when you're on that throne of awareness, you can direct the kingdom. And the kingdom is this physical world that you're in right now. So to restore yourself is to restore yourself to the position that you are the creator of what happens in your world, of what is happening in the world around you. All of you play a role in this, and all of you are joined in this. And for each one of you that understands what we are saying, you will understand that your capacity to alter thought, energy, and matter, you relieve yourself of the burden of the past and restore yourself to the present and the capacity to create any conditions you wish to experience as your life. And I stress as your life, because your life can be many things. The life in that physical body that you find yourself in can be many things, as you so choose, as you so think, as you so feel. But all of these things are amenable to change at any time with your awareness. To cultivate your awareness, it is important to understand a process that many of you know of as meditation, as being able to become aware of your thoughts, to become aware of your emotions, to become aware of your body, and recognize their subjectivity to you. And you must learn to entrain them to be your servants, no longer your masters. And I find this interesting because this is a theme that's come up a lot. They keep repeating this to me over and over again. The body and the mind and our emotions are meant to be our servants, not our masters. And so, years ago, I used to have really terrible thoughts about who I thought I was. I used to have really terrible thoughts about how I looked, what I thought other people thought about me. And it wasn't until I began to actually recognize the thoughts that the thoughts were not who I am, that the emotions were not who I am, that certain thoughts create certain emotions and certain emotions create certain behaviors. So a lot of the behavior patterns I had that were destructive were the effect of thoughts that were destructive and feelings that were destructive. And until I understood that I could actually alter and affect change in them, I was subjective to them. And yes, they're saying there are literally tens of millions on this planet that are subjective, falsely believing that they have of their circumstances, and yet nothing can be further from the truth. What it is you merely have to train a system that has become quite wild. It's the same as if you allow a wild animal into your home. It has no rules. It will pee, it will poo, it will do whatever it will do around your home because it is wild, it is not trained. And many people have let their minds and their bodies become untrained like wild animals. This is not your natural state. Your natural state is divine. Your natural state is to be able to create. Your natural state is to be able to choose what it is you will experience your being as being, what your life will be. Fascinating. I'm going to take some questions because we're really trying to keep this down to 15, 20 minutes is what they said, to keep it at that point. So I'm going to scroll back up. Wow. Hi, everybody. Fascinating. There we go. Hi, Adam, Patricia. Hi, Sophie. Okay, so let's see. Hi, Louise, Kira, Sophie. Master Jesus says he will be coming in to address things like this soon. But I do believe at the beginning of this that Raphael was talking about what we call the four clairs of clairvoyance, clairaudience, clairsentience, and clairaudience, clairvoyance, clairsentience, and claircognizance are the four fundamental clairs that you want to work on. And you can open those up. You need to open those up. But you have to shut these things off, your senses. And meditation is the key to do that. Adam, what does Archangel Raphael say in terms of the ceremonial rite that was done for me yesterday on if it was successful and its manifestation? How would it affect my life in terms of attracting the right people? Uh, he's saying, dear one, it is not the ceremony that will make the distinction in your attracting the right people, although your focus in that direction is more predisposed to produce the result you want. That you know you are attracting the right people is what will affect the change. The ceremony is simply a mechanism to give you the focus that you needed as being necessary to cultivate that condition of creation. For you are creating the conditions of your life right now, including the people that come and go. If you are in a state of proper alignment to the qualities of emotion, that would be in alignment with the events that would match that. How would it feel to have those people in your world? For if you feel it, you will manifest those conditions, for it is the feeling energy that creates the conditions in your forms. So if you have strong sensations around the ceremony that indicate a form of outcome that represents the right people coming into your life, then that is what it shall be. It will be successful, but you must stay aligned to that feeling of the right people. It is the feeling of the right people that brings you the right people. Cool. Great question. Thank you, Adam. Good morning, Drusilla. Manoj, does Archangel Raphael have any message or guidance for me? Wow. First things he said is he just put his hands up. He said, you need to really slow down a bit, spend a little more time in silence. He's saying spend a little more time in silence. Yes, that you have a tendency to get distracted out in the world. He said, spend a little more time in silence. You can feel, he says, you can feel my essential energy present with you. It's really important, I want to say, when they do come to us, they don't come to us to take care of us the way you think you should be taken. They come to offer us awareness, to remind us of what we are, that we are, in essence, essentially as amazing and powerful and creative as these beings are. We're just learning to understand that. So remember that too. Wow. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. That's another question. Let's see. Thank you, Archangel Raphael. This is wonderful. May I ask if Raphael has a message for me? Thank you. I don't know why he's saying this, but he says there's something behind you that you must let go. And he says it's in your head, but it's affecting your body. But there's something behind you in your head. And I'm interpreting that to mean that something from your past that you're still got a connection to, that I'm feeling it's more negative than anything else, that you need to let go of. And yes, that makes sense to me too. Thank you, Carolyn. Thank you for that donation of $20. I really appreciate that. Thank you, Is there a message from my mother, Margaret? 88-year-old is a musical. Wonderful. Raphael, he's very excited. He's very excited about that. He says, your mother has been trying to hear us for many years. She has always known there has been a presence. She's always found it annoying, but it is now time to release the feeling of annoyance connected with this, to allow herself to hear it, to be unafraid to hear what is within the sound that she calls the ringing. It is not the ringing, it's simply a symptom for the body to interpret that there's a message being presented to her clairaudient capabilities. Tell her to listen carefully within the ringing, to find the feeling of our presence within it. If she does this daily, as often as she can, she will begin to hear what has always been there for her to hear. Again, I don't know what that means, but a shout out to your 88-year-old mother that she's stepping forward. Wonderful. Thank you so much for that. Carolyn, Uh, wow. Thank you so much. That's wonderful, Carolyn. Grateful. Victorious. Uh, when I meditate now, I'm beginning to hear a loud rattle. What does this mean? He's saying it's not. Again, your mind is trying to. It's saying this happens to a lot of you. You often get the symptoms of us connecting with you, and you interpret them through your mind to assign a meaning that you've acquired from this world. In other words, the rattling that you hear is a rattling that you remember, this rattling sound from somewhere in your past. You are stuck on this symptom of the sound and not the essence of that which is communicating that rattling to you. Go beyond the rattling. Listen beyond it. Feel beyond it. And you'll begin to know what is there and who is there with you. I'm getting very strong. You'll find Archangel Michael is going to come through very strong for you. But really go into that place. We do this. We experience something outside of our normal framework, and the body and mind try to interpret it based on what they're taught to think is true. And so you might hear the voice of Metatron coming in, right? And and it might come through to you, and you start seeing sequential numbers everywhere, right? But your mind is interpreting Metatron's vibration to you through what it remembers. So it's important to really learn to meditate, to step back from what your attachment to the body, like step out of how your mind is trying to present what it thinks sensations mean to it, because the body and mind can only interpret reality from their level. You, on the other hand, when you can rise above that, go into the feeling energy, the awareness behind what your mind is presenting. Your mind will present, yes, I will. Raphael just wants me to tell you that your mind will present to you that the presence through symbols, what it recognizes based on what it knows. So we will come to you, and you might hear the rattle, or you might hear the ringing, or you might see the numbers. And that's merely to let you know that we are present. Your goal to connect with us then would be to step back from what your mind is presenting and just know that we are there. Move into the feeling behind the awareness. Move into the awareness of what is behind what you perceive. There is a feeling when you see those numbers. There is a feeling behind the rattling. There is a feeling behind the ringing or the heat or the cold. You want to go to that place where you feel our presence beyond the interpretation of your mind to give you that information. Yeah, and I understand that to mean that basically your mind's only going to give you the information based on what it remembers from our pasts. That's what it does. So learning to step beyond what your brain is giving you. The brain is just going to let you know something's going on, right? The body can only tell you something's going on. That's all it can really do. It can't go deeper into it. Great question. And great. Here we are. Any message for me? Joni. Wow, meditation's coming very strong. He says, you're not meditating enough. You need to still this thing completely. I don't know why he's calling it a thing for you, but he says you need to still. You need to quiet your house. You need to quiet your house. And until your house is quiet, you will not know what you hear within it. Cool. Yes, he does. He actually says to, wow. Yeah, Adam, he's saying to incline your parents to begin the process of using their bodies and minds a little differently, to begin a process of actually utilizing it. They're caught up in the symptoms of what many people call old age, having forgotten that the form will change, but the quality of the conditions that are existing can be changed if they begin to engage in certain exercises that are good for them, that they begin to drink more water. It says dehydration is a thing for the people that are older age. Many people begin to break down their bodies very quickly because there's not enough hydration in it. It's a very common problem, he says. Many of you are dehydrated and do not know it. Hope that helps, Adam. Lysandra. Thank you, Lysandra, for that donation. I appreciate that. I have a hard time trying to expand my energy. What can I do? Um, he's saying this is very simple. You must first quiet your body and quiet your mind. You do not need to expand your energy. You need to become aware that you are energy. You need to become aware that you are energy. And you can know this by experiencing this space around your body, by experiencing the space around your body when it is rested, where there is less resistance in it. Become aware of that space, and you will naturally begin to expand your energy, for you are connected to the space beyond the space. But become aware of the energy that is you in that space. You'll find it outside of the framework of this. Many of you try to feel your energy from the body perspective, and you can do this in basic steps. But to understand that the energy of energy around you is what maintains your body. You maintain your body by the consciousness that is you around it. Become aware of the space. You will find this will open that doorway for you. And be prepared. He's saying be prepared. There are many things on the other side of that doorway for you. Because once you start to know that you're not your body, once you start to know you're not your mind, once you start to know you're not just the emotions, that you're the sentient consciousness that alters and changes and shapes and forms matter, time, and space, it's pretty fascinating experience. Then you don't worry about things like life. You don't worry about what life here or death here, because they don't have the same value when you know that you're a non-physical being moving through time, space, and matter in a creative process that you consciously or unconsciously execute, right? Hi, Renati. Hi, Shane. It's funny how many people, I love how many people call me Michael. That's funny. When you said your mother hears music, songs, and hears music, songs, and not ringing any more info. To write down the meaning of the songs. Says to write down the meaning of the song, what the song means, as an expression of life, and not as something she remembers from her past. This is what happens. A lot of people, our brains try to interpret the present from the past, and so we end up with past present. So we don't get to actually see what's present. So the more you can be in the present moment, you can really liberate yourself from that. But yes, he says, yes. There's somebody else that's with your mother too. Yes, and she knows who he is, for that is who she remembers the most. And again, I don't know who that is, but he says that she does. Thank you. Yes, we are the creators. Everything in the physical world is an effect, not a cause. Thank you, Terry. Hi, Shikina. Hi, Victorious. Wow, what a morning. You guys are amazing. The amount of support that it just, they've been telling me this for the last few weeks. They said, we have not seen nothing yet. They keep saying to me, we have not seen nothing yet on this earth. We're just seeing the beginning of a massive transformation in human consciousness collectively. And the thing is, all of us are participating in it, whether we're conscious of it or not. And they said, just hold on your hat. Things are going to get really exciting over the next few months. The process of reintegrating society is going to be different. We're going to be a different society because our consciousness is changing right now. So many of us are given the opportunity to find ourselves again, to really get detached from the pain and suffering we remember and start to really define who we want to be now and create what potentials and unfold those potentials into the world. It's very exciting. What's happening on the planet today for humanity. Betty Kidd, message for Betty Kidd. I don't know why he's showing me a drum, but he's showing me a drum, Betty. Something about a rhythm, I guess, but he's showing me like a drum, like a hand drum. But I don't know if it has to do with, but it has to do with some form of rhythm. Yes. Okay, he's saying there's a rhythm you need to establish in your life that's missing, that will restore your joy more fully. He's saying more fully. I don't know what that means, but something about rhythm. That's how I interpret that, the symbol that he just gave me, to find more rhythm. Um, who does Archangel Raphael say was? Wow. And why does she? um, I get this long flowing robe. Again, Raphael's not answering that question, but I'm getting the woman that you saw is the feminine aspect to yourself that you have cut off from your being. You've cut yourself off from your feminine nature, and she's trying to reintegrate with you. And when I say she, I mean that's the way she appears to you, as something separate from you, because she is separate from you in your mind. You need to reintegrate the feminine side. I go out and ground, Adam. I get go out and ground, go out to the world and spend time connecting to the earth. Yeah, Raphael's shaking his head to me now, saying, yes, this will help you to reconnect to the feminine. Connect through your hands, through your feet to the earth, and feel the feminine reintegrate through the earth back into your body. Oh, thank you, Drusilla. That's wonderful. I really appreciate it. We love you guys too. This could not be happening without all of us being together. You realize that, eh? Like this whole planetary experience can't happen without all of us agreeing to it. That's what I love about it. We all agreed to do this. Every single human being, whether they know it or not, the people that are suffering, the people in wars, we all agreed to create this experience called humanity. And we get to create whatever we choose to here in every way. And the spirit doesn't judge us for it. But we're coming to a place now where a bunch of us are deciding, let's try and create heaven on earth. Let's see what a collective consciousness of humanity creating heaven on earth will look like. Let's see what that looks like. That's going to be a lot of fun. Where are we here? 10:30. Well, we're done. I have no idea. Like I said, when this flows, I love it. When you start to raise your consciousness, it's really important. I say this from a personal perspective. Since I've been working with my guides and my angels and these ascended masters and these beings, the perceptions and experience of time and space change significantly. Time and space happen so much faster and with much more joy. Like we literally alter time and space. Like I felt like 15, 20 minutes gone by, but it's actually been 32 minutes. So time and space change when you move your awareness into a state of joy. I can't say it anyway. Move yourself to joy. Practice moving your awareness into joy. And then when you move your awareness into joy, it will affect the thoughts you think, and it will affect the actions you do. And then it'll affect the way you get to experience life on this dimension. And look what we're doing. It's an exciting time. I want to say thank you to everybody today for your contributions, for your support of my work. It means the world to me. And it certainly opens a lot of doors for everybody, because this information is important for you to understand. It's so important. Anyway, much love to all of you. I'm going to wish you a wonderful and a joyful day. I hope I didn't miss any questions. If I have, you can send your question directly to me on Messenger through Facebook, and I will address your question if you put a super chat up and I didn't get to it. I think I got to everybody though. Again, thank you so much for your questions and your time, and much love to all of you. And we'll see you soon. Bye for now.